Welcome to The Explainer. So, have you ever felt like you're doing everything right? You're working hard, you're keeping the faith, but for some reason, that feeling of real progress, of prosperity, just feels stuck? Well, today we're breaking down a really powerful message that asks that very question and points to a kind of silent enemy that might be holding you back.
This is a question so many people can relate to. The source material we're digging into today opens with this exact dilemma. It suggests there might be some invisible force, this quiet enemy, working against you even when you're giving it your all. Okay, let's dive into what that really means.
So here's our roadmap for today. We're going to start with this idea of the prosperity paradox. Then we'll redefine what this enemy actually is. From there, we'll look at the internal and spiritual blocks it creates, see how that leads to a very tangible leak in your life, and finally, explore the path to getting back in alignment.
Okay, so first up, the prosperity paradox. The source argues that for a lot of people, it's not just that progress is slow, it's that it feels like you're dragging some unseen weight. It's this subtle thing that just seems to work against everything you're trying to build.
And here's the kicker. This enemy isn't some person or outside force. It's an internal one. It's described as a battle that even the most dedicated, faithful people are fighting in secret, one that scatters your focus, totally drains your energy, and makes you feel disconnected from the good things you're working toward.
So what is this silent enemy? Well, this is where things get really interesting. The source takes a word we all think we know and gives it a much, much broader definition that applies to so many areas of our lives.
Get this. The enemy is defined as lust. Now wait a minute, because the crucial point here is that we are not just talking about physical desire. It's framed as this relentless pull toward any kind of immediate gratification. It's the urge to chase what feels good right now, even if it costs you big time later. Think about it. It could be scrolling on your phone for hours, binge watching a show instead of working on your dream, anything that gives you that quick hit of satisfaction.
All right, so now that we've redefined this enemy, what's the actual damage it causes? Well, the first major consequence described is how it just demolishes your focus and your self-mastery. And as you know, you can't really build anything great without those two things. The source uses this incredible metaphor. Imagine you've been given this beautiful, fertile field. That's your potential, your purpose. But this constant craving for what's next or what's easy keeps pulling you off into the weeds, chasing little distractions. And while you're in the weeds, the actual soil of your life, your real potential, is left totally unattended, dry and barren. And this idea is illustrated so perfectly by comparing two choices, leading to two totally different destinies. On one side, you have David, who gave in to a momentary distraction, acted on impulse, and it cost him dearly. On the other side, you have Joseph, who chose to run from that temptation, acted with long-term vision, and it positioned him for his destiny. It's a powerful contrast.
And this all leads to a core principle in the source material. A person's ability to truly prosper starts with self-mastery. The idea is that before you can get any kind of external promotion or success, you have to pass an internal test. You have to prove you can manage yourself before you can be trusted with more. Okay, so it messes with your focus. We get that. But the source argues that this internal struggle goes even deeper. It actually starts to affect your spiritual connection and how you see yourself.
It's described as being like a veil over your spirit. It's not that the connection is severed all at once. It's more like static building up on the line to heaven. It slowly muffles your ability to hear clearly, to get direction. All that internal noise and emotional chaos just makes everything feel distant.
And this is where a quote like this comes into play. "Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God." The argument is that purity of heart, meaning a heart that isn't divided between purpose and impulse, is what sharpens your spiritual vision. It clears away the static.
And this can lead to something really destructive, a cycle of shame. These hidden struggles can make you feel unworthy. Guilt starts whispering lies like, you're not good enough for that. And what happens? Your dreams shrink. You start to hesitate. You stop asking for big things, because deep down, you feel disqualified, and you might even sabotage your own blessings without realizing it.
Now let's bring this all back down to earth. How do all these internal blocks actually show up in your day-to-day life? This is where the spiritual and the practical really collide. The source calls this a silent leak, and it's basically a domino effect. It starts with chasing those fleeting desires. That chase drains your most precious resources, your time and your energy. With no time and energy, your big projects and dreams stall out. And eventually, this creates real chaos, even financial chaos, as all your potential is just quietly leaking away. And the principle here really boils down to stewardship. The logic is simple. How can you be entrusted with more responsibility, more resources, more influence if what you already have is in chaos, being drained away by impulse?
Okay, so that's the problem. It's a big one. But after identifying all this, the source lays out a very clear path forward. And the good news is, it's not about becoming some perfect superhuman. It's about becoming intentional.
The core message is this: the solution isn't perfection, it's a conscious choice. It's choosing to align with your long-term purpose over a short-term desire. Every time you say no to a distraction, you're actually saying a powerful yes to your destiny. Real freedom isn't doing whatever you want, it's having the power to choose what actually builds your future.
And according to this message, it all starts with just one thing, one single decision. A choice to reclaim your focus, to plug the leak, and to redirect all that energy back to what truly matters. And the encouraging part is, your calling, your purpose, it still stands. Your past doesn't get to cancel your future.
And that brings us to the final thought here, and it is a powerful question to just sit with for a minute. What would actually change in your life if every single ounce of that wasted, scattered energy was redirected towards your purpose? Imagine what you could build if that leak was finally sealed. Thank you for joining us for this explainer.